In this week's video, I am going to be attempting to make all of the chapati that we need for this month. And I'm also going to be sharing with you some of the things that I've learned through this process so that you don't make the same mistakes that I made. All right, let's get to it. Hi there, my name is Emily Wamboi. You can call me Em, and this is Busy at Home. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. And this week, I just sat down and decided, hey, you know what? Why not make all of the chapati that I'm going to be kneading for this month? And do you see what I did? Kneading. All the chapatis that I'm going to need for this month so that I don't have to repeat this process 4 different times, once for every week. So one thing that I learned is that always make sure that you are prepared well ahead of time so that you are not dealing with a chapati dough that is springing back on you. If you're going to make it lots of chapatis, well, you had better make this process as easy as possible. So I made sure to make this dough the day before I needed it so that I could it could be so much easier for me to just roll it out, and you see just how it just goes so smoothly. I have never done this before. Every time that I have made chapatis, it's probably been for 2 weeks or a week, and that's it. But this week I just decided, hey, instead of repeating this process 4 times, I have space in my freezer. Why not do this process once? And I realized that it took me as much time as it would have taken me for one batch, plus a little extra time. So I ended up saving so much time, and I'm so grateful I did this. So if you do attempt to do this, hey, it is not that hard. The only thing that you need to remember is that you need to take out time from your day. If you have kids, maybe look for someone to babysit them, because you don't want things going wrong during this time. You just want to focus on this, get it done, and put it in the freezer, and you're done with it. So I decided to do this process when my baby was asleep, so that this would just go really fast for me. And because I've been making chapatis for many years, I know how much time I need for making the whole chapati making process. So I just blocked out time in my evening. I usually work best in the evening, and I made these chapatis, and I am super grateful that I did. If you want to learn how I make my chapatis and the recipes that I use, I'm going to link that video in the iCards above, and I'm also going to link it in the description box below so that you can go and watch it and make these chapatis along with me. I am so grateful that I did this, because the next week we were visiting somebody, and when I think we were having a wedding, I can't remember, but when we got back, I definitely enjoyed having chapatis ready together with the stew in the freezer, and all I did was just take them out, warm the stew, make some veggies, and fry the chapatis. So this has definitely saved me a lot of time. If you're wondering why I put flour on top of the oil surface, this is to make sure that the chapatis layer up really well. So you can definitely skip that step, but I would highly advise against it. Doing that flour process can be, it can take a few more seconds, but I assure you that it is going to give you the most layered chapatis you have ever seen. And if you follow this recipe, you're going to get not only layered chapatis but also soft chapatis. One of the things that I've been hearing is that people out here on YouTube are teaching you how to knead your chapatis for 10 minutes. Honey, you do not need 10 minutes to knead your dough, okay? If there is anything that science has taught me, is that Kneading anything that has gluten for a long time develops those gluten strands, and that means that your chapatis are going to be tough. Okay, so work your chapatis as little as possible to have the softest chapatis that you can possibly have. So don't knead your dough for 10 minutes. You only need about 3 to 5 minutes of kneading chapati to get a soft chapati. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this YouTube channel, and we save time here and money while still affording you delicious meals for your friends and your family. One of the things that you could do to save yourself some time is to make sure that you fry your chapatis in this very step, and just save yourself some time in the future. Chapatis will freeze extremely well at any step. Whether it is you may just make the dough and put it in the freezer, it's going to be great, or you apply the oil, it's going to be great, or the way I like to store mine is by burning them just a little in this way and then layering them up, letting them cool, and then putting them in the freezer. But you can also fry them and put them in the freezer as well. As you're going to see, at some point I just got really tired because I had come from a very long day, but I needed to do this. At some point I was like, you know what, it's fine, it's not even that serious, I'm done with this. And I just left some of the dough balls just the way they were, and I put them in the freezer, and they're still in my freezer now, just in bags. But I'm still grateful that I did this process. So hey, you can save yourself as many steps as you want. And I also want to know, have you tried my chapati recipe? How did it turn out for you? I have had raving comments about those chapatis, and so if you found that video helpful, and if you're finding this video helpful as well, I would love to know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for joining me and for hanging out with me this week, and I hope you have a lovely week. And if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. Also, please consider watching another video on this channel. It helps to grow my channel.